We are at the first real day of school, and so we're going to go ahead and get started on some real geometry today. So remember we practiced last week on how to use our videos. Be sure there will be opportunities today to work on things on your own and raise your hand and have me check. And so be sure that you take those opportunities to do that. All right, so today our topic is points, lines, and planes. Okay, so that's what we're really talking about today. So we're going to start with a point. A point is a location. It has no size or shape. Okay, we always use a capital letter to name a point. So in this case, you see that little dot with the big capital letter A. So we just say that this is point A. Okay, a line is made up of infinitely many points. Okay, infinitely many. Now, any 2 points form a line. I don't like that word form. How about determine a line? What that is really saying is that if you have 2 points, you can name a line. But remember, a line is made of infinitely many points. A line has no thickness or width. We can name a line by any 2 points on the line. Okay, so like in this case, 2 points on this line is, whoopsie, sorry, okay, is x, y. And if I do that, then I put a little picture of a line over top there. In geometry, we're not very creative. So the way that we name things is we just draw a little picture on the top of it that looks like the thing that it is. Okay, so that's why this is line XY and has a line on top. If you want to put it in the other order, you could do that. Like, oh, I don't know why I wrote that. I just made that up. If I want to do YX with a line over it, that's the same line, right? Or I can call it line, no, not lime. Line N, lowercase script letter. Script is just another word that means cursive. So I write line N if I want to name it with the N, a lowercase letter N. All right, if you have things that are called collinear, that means that they lie on the same line. The collinear points lie on the same line. And non-collinear points are points that do not lie on the same line. So, like if I draw point Z out here, then I would say points X, Y, and Z are non-collinear. All right. Last kind of thing we're going to talk about is a plane. Okay? A plane is a flat surface made up of points. Any 3 points determine a plane. Okay? But a plane does extend indefinitely. That means forever in all directions. And you can name a plane by any 3 non-collinear points on the plane. Or you can use an uppercase cursive letter. So like in this picture, we can say plane K, J, L, and I can put those points in any letter, any order that I want. So that's one way to write it. Or I can write plane P. Okay, uppercase script means uppercase cursive. Okay, capital cursive letter. If they are all on the same plane, then those are called coplanar points. And if they are not all on the same plane, they are non-coplanar points. But in order to be non-coplanar, it has to be at least 4. Because remember, I can always put a plane to connect 3 points. Okay. Now, if you look around the room, you'll see some examples of points, lines, and planes. Okay. So like the wall is like a plane. The edge where the ceiling meets the wall is like a line, and the point where the 2 walls and the ceiling connect in that little corner there is like a point. Okay? So then we have intersecting lines and planes. two lines intersect at a point, and two planes intersect at a line. Okay. So we have some examples that we can use here. Okay. If I look at this diagram here in number 1, I can name 4 collinear points. That means 4 points on the same line. And so I'm going to have to use this H, N, K, and I, because the other lines only have 3 points on them. So that line is the one that we'll use there. And then a line that contains point M. So first you have to find point M. And when you do that, it's on this top line here. Okay, so a line, remember we use 2 letters, and say I could use M, N, and because I'm writing the name of a line, I'm putting a hat on top, and that hat is going to look like a line. Okay, in geometry, we use lots of different hats. A line that contains H and K, well, let's just use line HK. We could also say line R. Another name for line Q, so find line Q. Okay, remember we name lines with 2 letters. Do not write all 3 points that are on line Q. Do not write them all for the name of the line because we only use 2 of the 3 for naming our line. So an example could be KL, but you could also have JK or JL if you wanted, or you could do it in the other order. So there's lots of different options there. And then on number 2, we have the intersection of lines P and R. P and R intersect at point N. And we can just write, we don't have to write the word point, we can just write capital N. All right, so I want you to try number 2 on your own, and as you finish those 5 little sub-questions, you can raise your hand. I'll come around and check your work before you go on to number 3. One note that I want to make here is when you have a plane and then you have these like dashed lines here, when you have like the dashed lines here, you can, what that means is it's like underneath the plane. So this is like if you can envision like a piece of paper with like a like something, a pencil poked through the top of it, okay, is what that picture is really talking about. So stop your video, try to do number 2, A through E, and then raise your hand, I'll check it so that you can start number 3. So hopefully you've had me check number 2, and now we're on to number 3. We'll do number 3 together on the video. We have 3 coplanar points. That means all on the same plane. And I have so many planes here. Okay, I have so many planes. So I'm just going to use 3 different letters that are in plane R. Okay, so that might be V, oops, I got to get back to my VWX. Okay, that's one example. And a plane containing X would be plane R. Again, there are more options here. Okay, I could write it differently. The intersection of plane R and plane Z, plane R and ZVY. That would be this line right here, VY. So VY with a hat on it. How many planes appear in the figure? Okay, so we have plane R. Okay, then we have, now this base of the pyramid is in plane R. So that doesn't count as 2, that's just 1. But then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 faces of that pyramid. Okay, so that would be a total of 5 planes in the figure. How many planes contain point W? Here's point W right here. Okay, and so we have the bottom, and then we have these 2 side faces that contain point W. So that would be 3. All right, try number 4 on your own. Raise your hand when you're done. I'll check it. When you're done with everything, then I will let you start your homework.